Come on, where is it? All right, let me try again. I want to. Oh, it's doing it. Okay, we're recording. It just took a while. All right, let me make this big for us. Okay, so they tried to hide word problems from us because most people are like, word problems, we hate them. So then they started calling them practical problems. We know it's word problems. We know we're at the end of a unit because we have to know how to solve them before we can tackle these word problems. All right, the hardest part for us today, notice there's no notes. That's why we're just going to do these together. So just stay with me, pay attention, wake up, keep your head up. All right, we have to do several things. This tends to be the hardest part for the first couple of problems, and then people are like, oh, it's pretty easy now. We actually have to read it and pull the inequality problem out of the reading. So you might have to read it a couple of times. This tends to be the easiest part now, the solving, because we've done the practice. So when we actually get it out, then solving it is not a problem. Sometimes this can be tricky. We have to use the solution in order to answer the question that's underlined. So the answer is not just x is less than some number. We have to actually answer a question. Okay. All right, let's do the first one. And we're going to do this whole first page together. You're responsible for finishing the back. Some people actually finished it in class because it's not a whole lot. But don't turn over and do the back right now. Stay with us. Let's do these together so you don't have to do them by yourself. Brett has a $30 online gift voucher. So I'm assuming Amazon. So a $30 Amazon gift card. He plans to buy as many books as he can. The cost of each book is $4. There's also a single shipping charge of $2. How many books can he afford without spending more than his gift voucher? All right, so maybe he's not a gamer and the holidays are coming up and he thinks he might be bored. So he's going to use his $30 and he's willing to spend the whole $30, but he can't go over $30. And he's got to pay $2 shipping. We've got to be able to pull that information out and write an inequality. All right, you want me to do this first one, or does somebody want to take a chance and see if they can pull the inequality out? All right, go ahead, Javion. Thank you. Yeah, what are you thinking?
2 plus 4x.
All right, I'm going to do it. Okay, hold on just a minute. I'm going to say, and I like your x, but I kind of like to use variables that represent what we're looking for. It does not matter, guys. Use an x if you want. I'm going to use a b because we're actually looking for how many books, b for books. All right, go ahead, Javion. What else did you say to do?
Plus 2.
He only has to pay the $2 one time, so there's your shipping. And then I'm going to go ahead, Javion, and put it over here because we know he has 30. This right here is tricky. All right, Javion, what are you thinking? All right, let's read it again. He has $30. So let's think, common sense. Can he spend $31? All right, so what are you thinking, Q? All right, he's willing to spend the whole $30 so it can be equal to, but he can't go over. He only has $30. He does not have 31. He does not have $40. He's just got $30. Just that gift card, no other money. That tends to be one of the hardest parts, is to pull that information out. This part is not that hard for us anymore, and you guys don't even need a calculator now because I think you can do the math yourself. So over here, we just solve the problem. Don't put that answer in the answer blank because that's not quite the answer yet. All right, so you go ahead and do that part. I'm going to show it up here on the board. I'm going to give you a little bit of head start and then look up. Okay, so nobody look until you finished it and then look up and hopefully have that, oh yeah, that's what I got. Okay. All right, so Javion and Q pulled out the inequality for us, and we notice it's just a two-step inequality. He's got $30, but he has to subtract the shipping charge of $2. And this kind of reinforces why we always undo subtraction and addition first, because now it starts to make sense. I got $30, I got to pay $2, and now I have to divide the $28 that's left over by the $4 per book, and it's saying that I can buy 7 books or 6 or 5 or 3, but he's willing to spend the whole $30. So we put 7 books. That's the answer. How many books can he afford? So 7. Don't just put the inequality answer. It's 7. These are word problems, so we have to answer it. Mariam?
I got it.
Okay, good. All right. All right, let's do another one, because, and I only have 5 of us up here for us to do. By the time we do 5, you really catch on with what's going on. All right, guys, this is a life lesson. Listen to this. So these 2 girls, Sue and Kathy, apparently they've gone out to dinner and they need a ride home, and they only have $20 left. So they're going to call Uber or Lyft or whatever, and they know that they only have $20. So they look online and they see, oh, I'm going to have to pay $3 per mile. And I have to pay a $2 fixed charge, because Uber now with the pandemic, they got to buy a bunch of cleaning supplies. They got to spray the seat down and wipe it all out. So they're going to charge you $2 just to get in the car, because they got to clean it after you leave. And then $3 per mile. All right, so here's what we need. No $3 per mile, a $2 charge, and they only have $20. This is why it's so important. Before you get in that car, you have to calculate how far are they going to take me before they stop the car and kick us out because we're out of money. And this is 2 girls, and I'm assuming at night, maybe they're in a bad part of town. They don't want to get kicked out of the car and have to walk. That would be dangerous. So they got to calculate this before they get in that car, because the Uber car doesn't matter. Y'all get out. Y'all out of money. I'm going to go pick up more customers that have money. And then they're like stuck. All right, so they're going to figure this out. How far am I going to get? Am I going to have enough to get me home? All right, so the question is, what is the maximum number of miles that they will be able to travel by Uber? All right, anybody want to take a stab at trying to pull Marion? What are you thinking?
3B.
Okay, B?
I mean, 3 M.
I'm going to do M too. M for miles, because that's what we're looking. All right, what else?
That's 2.
Awesome.
Get M equal to 20.
All right, do they have more than $20?
Less than
Yes. Okay. They've got only 20. So yes, they'll be happy if they only have to give the guy $16 and they can pocket the rest. But they've got 20, and they want to know, how far can I get? Am I going to be able to get all the way home, or else do I need to maybe not spend money on an expensive Uber and just wait for the bus? Okay. I'm out of luck. The bus does not run where I live, so there is no choice. All right, so now this is the easy part. Marion did the hard part for us. So now this part should be pretty easy, and I don't think you need a calculator on this part either. But remember, when we do the hard ones, I've got my calculator, so I'll do it. Okay, don't look up. You try to solve it, and then look up and see if you have the same thing.
And I will tell you, that happened to my daughter in Washington, D.C. She didn't have enough money to pay the taxi cab driver, and the taxi cab driver put her out.
Yeah, and you might not be in a good part of town.
No,
And if you're out where I am, you're stuck on the side of a country road in the dark. This is not a good place to be.
and she had a long walk.
And it might be scary. Okay, so look up. Did you solve it? We had to take $20. We had to take away the $2 for just getting in. Then we have got $18 left, and we have to divide that by the $3 per mile. So we can go 6 miles. So Sue and Kathy, if they live close by and they kind of say, yeah, that'll get me home. Okay, so the answer would be they can go 6 miles. But if they live 8 miles from wherever that restaurant, or 12 miles, they better get on the bus. Or they better be calling somebody to come pick them up, because they're going to be walking, and it might not be a safe environment. 6 miles. And now where I live, I'll be walking, because there are no restaurants within 6 miles of my house. So there's no way I would be able to get home.
There's another part of the story, but I'll tell you all the rest maybe later on.
But she's okay.
She lived to be, she's 40 years old. She survived.
Okay, all right, she made it. All right, now here's Jennifer. And Jennifer wants to go on vacation. She's been cooped up because of the pandemic, but she's on a budget. She's on a budget. All right, so Jennifer has $500. That's her budget. Oops, let me get my pen. She's got $500. That's what she can spend. She plans to stay at this hotel that costs $60 a night, and her flight to get to there and back is a one-time $150 amount that she had to pay. So she wants to know how many nights can she afford to be on vacation, because she's got to tell her boss, I'm going to be gone 8 days. I'm going to take off 10 days. I'm going to take off 4 days. So she's got to figure out before she goes, how many days am I going to be able to go? Okay. Anybody want to take a stab at this one? Q, take this one.
60.
I'm going to use an N for nights. Yes.
Less than 150.
Uh-huh.
Less than or equal to 500.
Yep, she can't go over 500, so she's got to keep it under 500, less than 500, but she's willing to spend the whole 500, so we're going to put the equal bar. Okay, now this is the part, you start working it out, but I'm going to have to do some of the math because this gets ugly. All right, so you go ahead and do the setup. I'm hoping everybody is minusing the airfare. Oops, I got to get another 0 in here. All right, so I hope everybody says, okay, I got $500. First, I'm going to take away the airfare because that's just that one price. And that's going to leave me with $350. But now we have to divide it by the $60 a night. So now we're going to divide by $60. All right, now this is where I'm going to have to do the math because it's ugly. All right, 350 divided by 60. Okay, so we got to think about this one. All right, I get N is less than or equal to 5.833333. All right, so now we got to think about this answer. The question is, up to how many nights can she afford? Vincent?
5.
Why not 6?
Because she don't have any money.
How about 5.8?
Still can't be.
That's not how hotels work. Hotels are not going to call your room at, maybe they do the math by the hour. This is by the night. They're not going to call you at 3:30 in the morning and say, pack your bags and get out. You don't have any more money. It's by the whole night. So she can only go for 5 nights.
And she'll have a little extra money left for that flight home.
Or souvenirs. Souvenirs. Yeah, she can buy some snacks for the flight home.
Drink in the airport.
There you go. But can't take it on the plane with you. You have to drink it real quick before you get on the plane because they don't let you carry liquids on the planes. All right, might be some explosives in your Slurpee cup or something. We don't know. So many rules.
Take the mask off anymore.
Nope. All right, let's get in a taxi this time. All right, so we're in Washington, D.C., and we're getting in a taxi, and we don't want to be dumped out in some bad part of town that's scary. All right, so taxi fare is got a flat rate just to get in the car, $1.75. We have to pay 65 cents per mile. That's cheaper than an Uber. And we only have $10, at most $10. And Erica, okay, I'm assuming a lady by herself does not want to be dumped out of the car somewhere by herself and it's not safe. All right, anybody want to take a stab at trying to pull that one out? I need somebody different. Come on, take a chance because Marion knows it and Q knows it. Somebody else take a chance. Vincent, go ahead.
0.65 M
I'm going to use M too. It doesn't matter what number. I just like to try to pick a letter that matches.
plus 1.75 at most $10.
All right, what sign is at most? She only has $10. Yes, yes. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm going to have to help y'all with the math part, but you go ahead and write this down, 0.65. You can show your work, and then when you get to where it's like, ooh, I need a calculator for that, I'm going to let you know what that is. All right, so we got $10. She's going to minus the $1.75 just to get into the cab. Okay. That's going to leave her 65 cents per mile, and now she only has 10 minus 1.75. She only has $8.25 now. Whoa. All right, so she's on a budget. So I don't know if she's going to get very far. $8.25, but she's got to divide that by the 65 cents. Now, this is where the math gets ugly. You guys are going to have Desmos embedded, so don't worry about these calculations. That's why I'm doing it, because I know you know how to use a calculator. 0.65. All right, so this comes out to be 12.692. All right, now this is where it gets confusing. How far can she travel? Now, doesn't a car have an odometer in it that will say 12.4 miles and 12.6? So do we have to round this one or anything? The car will actually tell us. That taxi driver will actually be looking at the odometer or his meter reader, and that's it. All right, so he's not going to throw her out at 12 miles because he can tell that she can go a little bit further down the road. So just because the car has the capacity to do that, we can just say about 12.7 miles. Okay. All right. So we can go a little bit further in the cab than we could with the Uber. All right, last one we're going to do together. Chris wants to order DVDs over the internet. Each DVD costs $15.99 each one. But then there's shipping that costs $9.99. He can spend no more than $100, but he's willing to spend the whole $100. How many DVDs can he buy? All right, we got somebody that we haven't heard from that's willing to take a risk. Anybody willing to take a risk that we haven't heard from? Somebody. All right, it's the same three people. Somebody take a risk. Somebody go for it. Javion did one. Javon did one. Q did one. Marion did one. Vincent did one. They all want to do another one. Ladies, we got all the guys that have volunteered. Don't we have a lady in here that's got enough? It's okay if you make a mistake. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. Look, ladies aren't even looking at me like, don't call on me. Don't call on me. All right, go ahead. Q, start us off, and then I might call on Javion or Marion or Vincent to finish it up for us. Start us up.
15.99
D. You wouldn't want to do DVD. That's too much stuff. So he's just going to say D. Okay. What else?
plus 9.99.
That's your shipping. All right.
Less than 200.
Yeah. All right. He can't go over. So it's got to be $100 or less. Okay. That's our setup. These numbers are pretty ugly. So let's just go ahead and start showing your work, and then I will yell out the math part for you, because math without a calculator is not easy. All right, so he's got $100. First thing, let's get rid of the shipping. That's the easiest thing to get rid of. So we're going to take away $9.99, and that's going to leave us $190 and a penny. All right, so we got $15.99 per DVD has to be less than or equal to $90.01. And I like the word problems at this part because students start to realize, yeah, you're going to get rid of what's adding and subtracting first. Get rid of the shipping. Get rid of the service charge. Okay, so it's kind of reinforcing why we always undo addition and subtraction first. Now we have to take our $90 and a penny, and we have to divide it by the price of each one. And that's ugly. So let me help you. Let me do the calculations for you. 90.01 divided by 15.99. Okay, so it comes out to be DVDs can be less than or equal to 5.62. Okay, that's not the answer. How many DVDs can he buy? All right, so Marion, how many DVDs can he buy? How many? You called yourself. All right. Some people today have said 5.62. Do y'all know what 0.62 of a DVD is? Little shards of plastic. because they've tried to cut a DVD, you can't do anything with a part of a DVD. You got to have the whole thing to go in the machine for it to work. So he can only buy 5. If he's planning on having a movie night, he's got a little bit extra money and go buy some movie candy and some, drinks and some popcorn and add to it. But he can only buy 5 complete whole DVDs because you don't want to buy 0.6 of one because it's just little pieces of sharp plastic. All right, questions?